Today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to sole swap or reglue any pair of Air Force Ones or Nike Dunks. Let's get into it. These are the early 2000s Air Force One Luxe, originally made in Italy, so the upper uses a genuine premium leather, which is why the quality on these feels completely different from your standard pairs. These retailed for about $350, and today, clean pairs can easily go for $700 or more. Now that we know a little bit more about the shoes, when you notice your Air Force Ones, your Nike Dunks are starting to separate, the midsole is starting to crumble, the air unit has burst, what do? What's the first step you take? First step, you need a pick tool similar to this. You can find it on Amazon. What you want to do is be very careful when you're taking out the thread, because if you go to pull it out and it comes to your face,
we'll be right back.
Then you might stab your eye out. So you want to make sure you're like turning your head away or you're pulling away from the shoe or your face. That way you don't injure yourself. So we're taking the absolute very tip of this pick right there. And it's going underneath one of these threads. It's going right under there, just like that. That's what it should look like. You can see it's right under there. Now a little pro tip and trick. Instead of just trying to pull it out like this, it may be a little harder. What you can do to get some leverage, right? I believe there's a little science involved in this. But you just push down on the sole. So I'm gonna take this, push down, and it's gonna pop that thread out, and now it makes it much easier for me to just pull out. See how easy that was compared to me just trying to pull it out from the jump. See how hard that was? Now let's do it one more time. We're gonna look at how easy that was. Pull out. Here, let's do it one more time. Ready? Push down, pops right out. Just take it straight out, super simple. Let's continue taking this apart. Oh yeah. Just as I was expecting. As you can see, all the polyurethane that was once an air unit and the air unit itself is no longer good. It's still held its shape pretty well, I won't lie, but the air, no. This would easily turn to dust if anyone tried walking on this. Right here is the beautiful size 10 crispy all white donor that we're going to be using, and boy do I personally love Air Force Ones. If you guys had to ask me what's your favorite go-to shoe besides Yeezy 350s because of comfort, Air Force Ones. All day, any day, crispy pair, thank you. So we're taking the sole off of it and putting it on here. Besides that, it's gonna be a straightforward sole swap. So let's go ahead and gut out all of this old crumbled, well, not from the soles because we're not even using these. We're gonna gut it all out from the bottom of here and we're gonna skive off the uppers. Let's take a look at what tools we need to complete step 2. So first you want to grab your larger scraper tool. This is what we'll use to remove the bigger chunks of the crumbled midsole. You want a smaller precision scraper for the tighter areas and an X-Acto knife for when we have all the crumbled midsole scraped off. We're starting with the larger scraper and removing all the big sections of the crumbled material from the side walls and the bottom. Then switching to the smaller scraper tool and going after the stubborn spots that didn't come off the first time and the tight corners and edges, just the small details that make all the difference. You want to try to get as much of it off as possible before moving into your X-Acto knife. Grab a brand new blade and carefully shave away all the old factory glue. You want to make sure you do not go above the glue line. Stay on the glue line. Don't go above it. Don't gouge the leather. This is very controlled work and you want to be patient and precise. Now that the prep work is finished, we're moving on to the donor Air Force Ones and repeating that same breakdown process. Start by removing all the stitching around the midsole. Already pulled out the insole, so make sure you do that first. Once everything is ready, I place the donors into my donor separation oven to help break down the factory glue. And if you don't have an oven, don't worry, you can use acetone, pour a generous amount into each shoe and let it sit for about 15 minutes, then pull them apart. Okay, so it's the next day. We've got these taken apart. Now, I ended up using acetone, just dumping it in the shoe, letting it sit for about 20 minutes, then peeling them apart. The donor separation oven did heat them up a lot, but the syringe full of acetone just wasn't doing me any justice. So I figured, let me just dump the acetone in the shoes and let that break down the glue. We're moving on to step 4, which is going to be prepping these. If you don't have a Dremel tool, because that's what we're going to be using to prep these, you can use acetone and cotton balls and a heat gun. You may have to do a little extra work and a little extra scrubbing to make sure you really get that glue off, but it will work. For those who do have a Dremel tool though, we will be using a low grit, around 40 grit for this prep work. I'll pop a picture up on the screen here. This is what I use for the majority of my prep work, and then I'll use a really high grit to smooth out any remaining bumps or curves or things that just need to be smoothed out to look nice and clean. Now with this pair, I'm literally going to be going around the rubber edge right here. That's all I'm going to be doing. So let's go ahead and prep these, and then we'll move into step 5, the glue work. But first, let's complete step 4. So now we've got the Dremel ready with a 40 grit bit. Crank it up to a higher RPM and carefully trace along the inside rubber edges, making sure all the remaining factory glue is removed. Once that's done, move to the uppers and stay just underneath the glue line like we did with the X-Acto knife. We're lightly Dremeling off anything that the X-Acto knife blade may have missed. It should already be mostly clean. This is just an extra prep to ensure the strongest bond possible. Little pro tip that goes a long way. Now that all of our prep work is complete, it's time for glue. I'm using Barge Super Stick Cement. I get asked this all the time. This is the adhesive I trust for jobs like this, so better not see any comments. Hey, what glue do you use? Barge Super Stick Cement. You want to make sure you're applying a thin, even layer to all the prepped areas on the midsole and uppers. Thin and consistent is what gives you the best bond. Once everything is coated, let the glue cure, and then we'll move on to the next step. If you've made it to this point, the next step, I'm going to be showing you exactly, well, as best as I can, how I stitch up any Nike Dunk, any Air Force One, any Air Jordan 4, 5 toe cap, any shoe that needs stitch work. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, so do not go anywhere. But for step 6, we are going to be bonding the upper onto the sole, so let's waste no time. Use our heat gun to help us. That's about it, and get to it. Now when it comes time to bond the shoes together, use medium to low heat. My heat gun doesn't show an exact temperature, so I keep it around medium and apply heat for about 5 seconds on each surface. A quick pro tip, I like to match the stitch holes on the outsole with the stitch holes on the upper. That's how you know everything is lined up properly and nothing shifts. I always start at the heel first and then lock in the toe, and finally work my way through the sides of the shoes. Now we're at the most and trickiest part of the entire restoration, the stitch work. To do this, you'll need a sewing awl and 2 strands of thread. Your primary thread, which is the white thread seen on the outsole, and your secondary thread, which locks everything in on the inside. Now, I normally use 2 white strands, but for demonstration purposes, I'm using blue as a secondary so you can clearly see what's happening. First, make sure you have enough thread. When it's time to actually stitch these up, I like to wrap it around the midsole about 2.5 times to give myself extra length. Do the same for your secondary thread. Next, you want to feed your primary thread through the sewing awl. Doesn't matter which side you start on. In my case, I'm entering from the left. Push the sewing awl through the stitch hole, then pull back slightly. You'll see 2 loops form, what I call the bunny ears. Since I entered from the left, I'm pulling the loop from the right side. Once that first loop is out, tie a knot at the end. This locks your primary thread in place when you pull the awl back through. Now move to the next stitch hole and repeat the puncture. You'll see the bunny ears again. Pull the same side loop, remove the awl, and you'll have a loop exposed. This time, run your secondary through that loop, tie a knot, then pull the primary thread tight until the knot seats against the inside of the wall. From here, the process becomes repetitive. Insert the awl, pull the loop, feed the secondary thread through, pull tight, and continue around the entire shoe. You do not need to tie a knot with the secondary thread after the first knot. You just put the secondary thread through the primary thread and pull tight on the outside. It does get harder near the toe since visibility is limited, so take your time and be patient. And a quick warning, the awl is extremely sharp. I've definitely stabbed my thumb before, so move carefully and practice before going in full speed. I'll be honest, the first time I did a project like this, it was not easy. I definitely messed up. So if you're attempting this while watching and things don't go perfectly, don't be too hard on yourself. This is all part of the learning process. After a lot of time, prep, patience, and stitch work, these are now fully restored, fully wearable again for years to come. On the Instagram reel and YouTube short I posted, some people mentioned the outsole looks a little too white compared to the upper. And I don't disagree, but at the end of the day, I always follow my client's preference. My job is to bring their vision to life. I hope you guys learned something from this video. I really do. I tried to make it as informative as I could. I know I couldn't give you the entire breakdown and full 24/7 process of what I do or how I restored these, but I tried my absolute best in a way that I would have appreciated someone teaching me when I was coming up restoring shoes, and not even just teaching how to restore shoes, but just something to watch, a cool process to see. And if you enjoyed that, I've got many more videos just like this one to come and that are already posted. So go check them out if you haven't. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe, comment if you did. I'll see you in the next one as always. Until next time.